Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Justice League house. The house is comprised of 6 members of the Justice League. We have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and of course, Cyborg. Inside each one of the 6 heads, we have an individual living space, so whether you want to have one large house or 6 small ones, it is completely up to you, and each one of the rooms/houses all connect to each other. I hope that you guys enjoy this house. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you like the video, please do also leave a suggestion with your like, and maybe I'll make your suggestion, who knows. But without any further ado, let me show you how to make this thing. So if you want to make this house, here's what you'll need. You will need all of these materials that you can see in my inventory right now, and you won't really need too many more of them. So make sure that you've got them all, and once you do, we can begin. So I'm going to start off by grabbing this top row right here, and we're going to make the first head. To begin with, we're going to make Aquaman's head. That is the first head on the left at the bottom of the house. You want to start off with a row of 8 black terracotta in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on top of this, going from left to right, do 2 white terracotta, 1, 2, 1 black, 2 white, 1 black, 2 white. For the next row, do 2 white terracotta, 4 black, 2 white. Then for the next row, you want to do 5 white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a pink concrete, and then 2 white terracotta. For the next row, do a white terracotta, a white concrete, light blue concrete, 2 white terracotta, blue concrete, white, and then a white terracotta. For the next row, we want to place a black terracotta, and then we want to do 5 white terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a pink concrete, followed by a black terracotta. Place 2 rows of black terracotta directly on top of this. So this is going to be 1 and 2, like this. It kind of looks like an evil version of Steve that's seen some stuff. So once you've done that, we have to add some hair. So we're going to start on this top row of black terracotta, and just coming in from the corner, we're going to place a black terracotta in this position. We're going to place 1 going down, 1 going right. We're going to come all the way down, and then we're going to not connect to the floor, and we'll do a bottom left diagonal. So just as like a big long strand of hair, that's what that is supposed to look like. We're going to then begin from the same place, but we're going to leave a gap of 2, 1 and 2, and then we're going to place 3 black terracotta going left, 1, 2, 3. We're going to come down 1, left 1, all the way down, hit the ground, and go right by 1. Your hair doesn't have to look precisely like this, it's just supposed to look messy. I think that looks really good though. We then want to come to the very back of our statue, and you want to take the back corners of the statue, the top of the head or the bottom of the head, and you want to extend the statue backwards by 7 using black terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want to extend that 7th block over, and you want to connect it to the opposite side of the front of the head. You also want to connect the corners down to the ground like this. You can connect them all together using the black terracotta, and you can connect them to the front of the house as well. You know, Aquaman has basically just loads and loads of hair, so all you have to do really is just fill in the sides of the house in using black terracotta. We are not, however, going to fill in the top of the head, but you can fill in the left, right hand side, you can even fill in the back. Just don't bother filling in the top of the head, as later on we're going to be filling it with a little bit of glass, and we're also going to be adding a chamber that will allow us to connect to the person above us, which in this case, will actually be Superman. So, just fill in the head using black terracotta. Very simple stuff indeed. So, you'll end up with something that should look like that. And that's great. So now, we want to make our next character. Start from the very bottom right-hand side of the front of Aquaman's head. This block right here, we don't want to include the hair. We want to leave a gap of 6 going right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we want to start the next character, which is going to be Flash. Place a row of 8 white terracotta going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place another row of white terracotta on top. Place a red concrete on top the left and right hand sides of this row, with white terracotta in between. Place 2 white terracotta on top the middle 2 blocks, with red concrete on either side of the row. For the next row, place red terracotta, or red concrete I should say, on top of the white terracotta in the middle, the left hand side, and the right hand side blocks. Place blue concrete next to the middle pair of red, and place white on the other sides. Finish this off by placing 3 rows of red concrete on top of this. So this will be 1 row, then 2 rows, and then 3 rows moving upwards, like that. We then want to take the white terracotta blocks on the left and right hand side of the face, and we want to extend the blocks backwards by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to connect them together at the back, like this. And then we're then going to make the rest of the rows red concrete. So, very simply, you know, Flash wears a mask, so there really isn't that much detail to be adding to the left, right hand side and backs of his head, so we're quite simply just going to make them all red. The only things that we will be adding are his patented gold, well in this case yellow lightning bolts that he has on the left and right hand sides of his head, which act of course not only as decoration but like they're also I believe like radio receivers and stuff, so you know, he can actually keep in contact with his teammates. But we want to have something that should look like that. We want to give him his lightning bolts. So on the middle of the head, it's a row of 8. So you should be able to find the 2 middle blocks. These are the 2 middle blocks. Find the left of the 2 middle blocks, move down by 1, place a yellow concrete, down 1, right 1, down 1. It's as simple as that. That's the left hand side. And then if we come to the right hand side, we want to find the 2 middle blocks at the top of the head. You want to find the right hand middle block, down 1, place a yellow concrete, down 1, left 1, down 1. So we'll end up with something that should look like that, and that is the Flash. Let's move on to Cyborg. So Cyborg, we want to begin by leaving a gap of 6 between the front right hand side of Flash's face and Cyborg himself. So we want to leave a gap of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we want to begin by placing 2 light grey concrete going right, 1, 2, then 4 brown, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 light grey. We then, for the next row, want to place a light grey concrete on the ends of the row with brown in between. Then place an entire row of brown on top. Then, starting from the right hand side, place a brown, a light grey, and then make the rest of the row brown. Beginning on the left hand side, going right, place a brown, white concrete, we need black concrete, and then we want to place it. Place a brown concrete, light grey, 2 red, light grey, like this. We then want to place for the next 2 rows, or for the next row actually, going from the left, we want to place black concrete, 4 brown, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3. We then want to, going from the right hand side going left, we want to place 2 light grey, make the rest of the row black concrete. So we want to do this for 2 rows. We want to place light grey and then the black concrete. And that is actually Cyborg, or most of him actually. Now we have to come to the right hand side and we have to do a bit more detail. He is a little bit more detailed than the rest of the guys. So starting from the very bottom of the right hand side of Cyborg's head, we want to move back and place a light grey. Followed by 6 brown concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then, for the next row, want to, starting from the left hand side, or the right hand side, sorry, place 2 black concrete. 1, 2. Make the rest of the row brown. Starting from the left, going right, place a brown, 2 black, 2 brown, and then 2 black. Then for the next row, left to right, place 3 black, 1, 2, 3, 2 brown, 2 black. For the next row, place an entire row of black. Then for the next row, we want to place, going from the left, 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3. Then the rest of the row black. And then for the next row, we want to have this for 2. We want to place 2 light grey, 1, 2, and then the rest of the row black. And we want to have that for the above row also. So we want to have something which should look like this. Now we want to come to the opposite side, and we want to very much copy what we have on that opposite side, except wherever we have light grey on the upper part of that side, this side wants to simply be black. You see, black is Cyborg's hair, and the light grey is the metal parts of Cyborg. On this side of the head, there aren't any metal parts, so that's why we instead just have hair. If we come to the back of Cyborg's head, we want to connect it together at the bottom using a row of brown concrete, and then we simply want to fill the rest of the head in using black concrete. So we want to come all the way up to the top of the head, and then that will actually be Cyborg complete, which is one of the more technical characters in our list. So here we have Flash, Aquaman, and of course Cyborg. Let's move on. So next, we have to grab white stained glass. And we want to do this for every single character. Place a row of white stained... Actually, you know what? We don't have to do this part next. We can do the rest of the heads. I'm being a bit silly. So the next part is going to be the rest of the heads. And we're going to start from Aquaman. And we're going to take the very top front left-hand corner of Aquaman's head, and we want to leave a gap of 6 between the head and the next character, which is Superman. We want to come up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's a row of 6 to leave a gap. We then want to place a white terracotta, and we want to go right by... We want to actually go right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to, on top of this row, going from left to right, place 3 white terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 2 pink concrete, 3 terracotta. Place 2 rows of white terracotta, 1, 2. For the next row, going from left to right, place a white terracotta, white concrete, red concrete, 2 white terracotta, red concrete, and white terracotta. Superman's eyes have been made red here. If you like, you can make them blue, because I'm pretty sure that that's his actual eye color. I just thought that he'd stand out a bit more with, you know, red laser eyes. For the next row, going from left to right, place a black concrete on the ends of the row, with white terracotta in between. Then place 2 rows of black concrete on top. So this will be 1 row, and then this will be 2 rows on top. Superman has a bit of hair that, like, quiffs at the top of his head. So you want to start from the very top left-hand corner of his head. You want to move to the right by 1 and 2. Place 2 black concrete going right, 1, 2. Move down 1, right 1, down 1. That is the little quiff. They're just little details that makes people look at Superman and go like, ah, that's Superman. It just makes him more recognizable. So, we then want to, starting from the left-hand side of the head. Actually, you know what? The best way to do this is to take the very bottom of the head and place a row of white terracotta coming out of the bottom of the head towards the back of the build. We want to place 7 rows of white terracotta. So this will be 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this will be 7. Place a row of white terracotta that goes all the way around the edge of the base that you've just made, like this. On the left hand side of the head, we want to, starting from the right hand side of this row, going left, we want to place 4 white terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of the 3rd and 4th blocks, place an additional white terracotta, and on top of the first block, go up by 2. So that'll be 1 and 2, like this. The rest of the side of the head can be made simply out of black concrete. That's all you have to add. And once you have placed all of the black concrete and the white concrete that you can see here, you will want to apply the same level of detail to the opposite side. So literally just boop, just copy what you have on that side of the build directly onto this side just look at it and apply it to this side of the build. That's all you have to do. So fill in that side using the mixture of white terracotta and black concrete, which leaves the back of the head, which can just be completely filled in with black concrete itself. The top of the head is going to be slightly different in that we are going to completely fill the top of this head in either using white stained glass or alternatively black concrete. So it's up to you what you want to do. I like to fill the top of the heads in with a transparent material to allow light in. So you're looking for this sort of effect right here. We then want to place a guiding row for the next character. So come to the very bottom front right hand corner of Superman's head and go right of this corner block by 6 using yellow concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever block is handy. Go to the right of that row of 6 by 8 using white terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place a row of white terracotta on top of this. Place black concrete on top of the left and right hand sides of the next row, with white terracotta in between. Place black concrete on top of this, and then for the next row going from left to right, place a black concrete, 2 white concrete, 2 black, 2 white, a black. Then place 3 rows of black coming up. This will be 1 row, then 2 rows, and then 2 rows. So that will give us something that should look like this. All we then have to do is we just have to take the very bottom of Batman's head and we have to extend it backwards using white terracotta. Or, you see, I'm kind of conflicted here because like Batman has like a coif, which kind of like comes all the way around his head. So it might even make more sense to make the rest of Batman's head simply black concrete. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place 7 rows of black concrete coming out of the bottom of the head. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like this. I'm then just going to make all of the other rows black concrete, and I'm going to make them as high as the head. I'm just going to completely fill in all of the sides using black concrete. I don't know whether I'll then perhaps edit this in that I may give him a bit more like mouth on the sides of the head. Like I might give him a bit more face using white terracotta, but most of Batman's head is of course covered by the mask, by a big giant coif mask sort of thing. So it wouldn't make that much sense that there's a lot of white terracotta, although we might just make the very edges white concrete, but this kind of, or white terracotta, but this kind of looks alright anyway. I mean, I don't think this looks weird. Let's have a look. Does it look weird to have that? No, not really. So I'll tell you what, we'll just fill in the top of his head using white stained glass, and then all that'll mean then is we then just have to give him his like bat ears at the top of his head. So using black concrete, 1 row of, so you're at the top of his head, you want to move 1 row backwards, starting from the left hand side, and place a black concrete, go right of that by 1, and also up by 1, just like that. And you want to do the same on the right hand side. You want to place 1, not in the corner, but 1 coming back, on top and left. So you want to give Batman little bat ears like that. Makes him nice and recognizable. Let's move on to our 6th and final character. Take the very bottom front right hand corner of Batman's head. Here we are. And you want to move right of this by 6 using your yellow concrete or whatever it might be. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just like that. We're then going to go right of this and we're going to place a row of, we're actually going to do a row of 8 white terracotta. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. On top of this row of white terracotta, going from left to right, we want to place 3 white terracotta, 1, 2, 3, then 2 pink concrete, and then 3 white terracotta. For the next 2 rows, we're actually going to need we actually need ourselves some black terracotta. And starting from the left, going right, we're going to place a black terracotta. We're going to go all the way to the right using white terracotta and then place a black terracotta on the edge. What we might also do is we might replace the left-hand side and right-hand side blocks using black terracotta, because otherwise they might actually conflict with the side of the head when we get to it. So you just want to replace the white terracottas you had on the left and right-hand side. Use black terracotta instead. And once you've done that row, you then want to repeat it. So place an additional black terracotta on top of that, and then white terracotta in between. Then for the next row, going from left to right, place a black terracotta, white concrete, blue concrete, 2 white terracotta, blue concrete, white concrete, black terracotta. For the next row, going from left to right, place a black terracotta. We then want to place 2 white terracotta, 1, 2, 2 yellow concrete, 2 white terracotta, then a black terracotta like this. Then for the next row, we want to place ourselves 2 black concrete, 1 yellow concrete, 2 red, yellow concrete, and then 2 black terracotta. And finish this off by placing an entire row of black terracotta on top of what you've just made. So we want to have this, which looks a little weird at the moment. But what we're going to do is we are going to take all of the yellow concrete blocks and we'll extend them towards us, and all of the red concrete blocks and extend them towards us. We'll take the right hand side of the little crown that we've made and we'll extend it to the right by 1 using yellow concrete like this. We then want to place some hair. So we're actually going to place a black terracotta to the right of that yellow concrete and extend it down. We want to then go to the left of the crown and we want to place 2 black concrete and extend it down like this to give the appearance of hair. We then want to place a black terracotta in each one of the corners next to the crown, the bottom corners. We then want to place a black terracotta in this position, and this position right here, just to make it look as though that you've got some nice natural looking hair. What we then want to do is we want to make the rest of the head. So we'll come to the very back of the head. We want to take the bottom black terracottas and extend them back each by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll connect them together. We want to fill the center of this in using white terracotta. So completely fill the center of this in using white terracotta, because I figured it'd make more sense than using black terracotta. We are then going to fill in the sides of this using black terracotta, but we want to be careful. You know where the crown is? Or the tiara as it is. Where the tiara is, we want to have that follow around the side of the head, and we want the yellow tiara to be visible around the side of the head. So we don't want all of the side of the head to be completely black terracotta. You want to find the position of the tiara and you want to have it follow around like this, the shape of the head. And then you can just completely fill the rest of it in using black terracotta as you would anyway. So we'll just get all of that done like this. I'm sure it'll make sense as you build it. I'm sure you'll kind of like make it and be like, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense that you'd see some of that, and it wouldn't kind of like just disappear into a hair. You would see some of it. I mean, if you wanted to be a tad bit more realistic with it, then perhaps you could actually have some of the hair disappear in there. But you know, that's kind of up to you. We're also going to fill the top of the head in using white stained glass, as we have done every single other one of our heads. And once we've done that, we'll actually have each one of these 6 heads. So we now have our 6 heads. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect them together. So let's connect them together from top to bottom first. So you want to take each one of the 3 bottom heads, and you want to do this on every single one. You want to place a layer of white stained glass inside of the tops of the head, like this. So you want to fill in the insides of the tops of the head using white glass. Add another row of white glass inside of this, like that. But what you want to do is you actually want to use this row and you want to extend the glass upwards so that it connects to the top of the head. But here's the thing about this, and I'll show you once we've connected. So you just want to extend this upwards and you want to connect it to all of the heads. You'll have to do this 3 times in total. It's not too bad, really. I mean, when you think about it, we've almost done it the once already. So we now have this. So we now have a chamber just like that, but we can't actually place ladders on glass. So I'm going to come to the left of the of Aquaman's head. I'm going to destroy the 2 middle blocks on the side of the head so we can gain access to the head. I'm going to destroy the bottom of Superman's head so that we can access it. I'm going to destroy the glass at the back. So I'm going to destroy the glass at the back. I'm going to replace it using white concrete. I would suggest using whatever color you think is suitable. So I'm going to just use white concrete just like that. And I'm going to just replace all that glass. I'm then going to connect it into the base of Aquaman's head. So I want to have a base that connects down into Aquaman's head. And then I'm going to use ladders to actually allow myself to climb up to the second story of the heads. And that is how each one of these are going to go. So we want to have something which should look like that. But we of course don't want to do that only once, we want to do that 2 more times. So at the top of Flash's head, we'll place a layer of white glass. So we're just going to place a layer of white glass on the inside of Flash's head. We'll add another row inside of it, like that. We want to take the back 2 blocks and we want to use white concrete and we want to extend up using white concrete to hit the base of Batman's head. We then want to place white glass everywhere else. So it's like white glass built up around that so that we have our chamber, but we are also able to place our ladders, of course, which is the main important thing. If you've got a better way of doing this, maybe perhaps a better way of concealing this, then I would highly suggest doing whatever you like, but it's kind of tricky. So we now have the chamber. We just have to destroy into the side of Flash's head here, and then we can actually come inside of the head. We can destroy these 2 glass, and we can place white concrete coming all the way down to hit the base of Flash's head here. And then we want to destroy upwards, place a row of ladders coming down, just like this, coming all the way up from the top to the bottom, and then we will end up with our second pair. Now, to do this one more time, we come to the top of Cyborg's head, and we want to place a layer of white stained glass in the side of this, just going around the edge. We want to then place another row of glass in the side of this, leaving the back 2 middle blocks alone, because we'll place white concrete in that, and then we will extend the white concrete upwards until we connect to Wonder Woman. We then want to move down, and we want to place some white concrete connecting down into into Cyborg's head. We then want to destroy 2 blocks, allowing us access on the side of the middle of Cyborg's right hand side. We're then going to place a row of ladders coming up, if it will allow me to place them. It's easier to place them down, I think. Just like that. Destroy into the base of Wonder Woman's head, and we'll place the other set of ladders like this. There we go. And then all I have to do is build the white stained glass chamber around this, just so that nobody can get in and out. That's basically all this is. And the reason that I'm using like white concrete, white glass, is because I don't think it sticks out as much. But of course, you could use any various color combination or whatever that you want to use. Whatever you feel as though looks the best, then you should do exactly that. You know, don't let me tell you what to do if you have a better plan. So now we have connected the tops of the house to the bottoms. We have to now connect them all left to right. So basically, we want to, let's say, we're going to begin by connecting Aquaman and Flash. On the side of Aquaman, we want to find the 2 middle blocks on the very bottom right-hand side of Aquaman, and we want to place glass coming out of those. We want to connect that glass all the way to the right, where Flash is, like this. And then we want to build a chamber around this. So we want to build a chamber of glass around this that basically just leaves us enough room to actually be able to walk through Aquaman's head into Flash's head. So we basically just want to have like, you know, like a 2x2 space connecting one side to the other side, just like this. And you know, it'll look fine. It kind of like, you know, it's not that bad to look at. So now we should be able to go from the inside of Aquaman's head into Flash's head. Of course, you've got to destroy a couple of blocks along the way, and we now want to connect Flash to Cyborg. So we're then going to place a row of white stained glass, very, very much the same way that we just connected Aquaman and Flash. We then want to connect Flash and Cyborg. So once we've done those, that means that we only have 2 more to do. We've got to connect Superman to Batman, which, you know, there was a whole film about that. And we've got to also connect Batman to Wonder Woman. So we want to have something which should look like this. And now as we move upwards, we want to once again, like on the right hand side of Superman's head, we find the middle 2 blocks at the bottom. We want to place a row of glass that connects the middle all the way over from one side to the other. And then we just want to like expand it out, and we want to just have enough room that allows us to walk from the inside of one head to the other. So like we'll destroy these blocks and these ones here, and then we'll be able to walk from one head directly into the other without too much trouble. So that's exactly what we've done. That is just connecting Superman and Batman, just like that. Boom. Wonderful. And then Batman to Wonder Woman. So you find the bottom 2 middle blocks on the side of the right hand side of Batman's head, and you connect those blocks all the way over to the opposite side, just like this. You then expand them outwards by 1 row, and then you just want to extend them up far enough once again that you can just walk in between one head from the other. So we'll just destroy these, and and also into Wonder Woman as well. There we go. And then we just want to connect. That's all we want to do. And once we've done that, we will have made all of the connections that we need to. So once you've done that, you should end up with something that should look exactly like this. And then that will allow you to travel in between all of the 6 heads equally. They're all nice and safe. The only thing that I'm going to do now is I'm just going to place doors on the very right hand side of the build, Cyborg's head, and on the very left hand side of the build where we have Aquaman's head. So that's how you get into the house, either Aquaman or Cyborg, or you could even add some back entrances on any one of them, and you can travel between one to the other, and you can freely move around the entire build. And, you know, you can fill those up with whatever interior you might like. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this, though. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'm not going to show you how to do the insides, because I think mine are very, very simple, and I'm sure you'll have seen them at the start of the video. I bet you won't have any trouble copying them if you have a look. If you do like the video, please do remember to hit that like button and leave a suggestion with your like. If you do like the video, please leave a suggestion. I'd like to see what you want to see next. Also, if you do like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, please click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. That's very, 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 very important. If you do all of that, you might want to check out some of my other content. So this is kind of like a cartoony part of my world, actually. So if you wanted to make anything cartoon related, you check out the card system in the description below, and you check out the cartoon builds playlist. That's in the card system, the description below. We've made all sorts of stuff. If you wanted to make some sorts of other stuff, like that's a haunted house, we have loads of survival houses around here. We have a lot. I do pretty much every single type of building. You just got to check the channel out. You guys will be able to see modern, suburban, city builds, survival, all sorts of stuff. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.